Alright dudes, it's time for a Dell OptiPlex GX110 to be exact. So not exactly the same machine that the Dell dude was selling, but these things were absolute staples in computer labs and schools and corporate offices, and I swear they were everywhere. And yet somehow, I've never taken one apart before. I've done so to the tower version, but never the desktop version, so let's get into it. Ah yes, the basic face of basic Dell. I see this thing must have been promoted to home use at some point, seeing as it has a very consumer-grade looking CD burner there, with up to 52 speeds, in addition to a DVD-ROM drive. And the badges further confirm this thing's a Pro, intended for Windows 2000 Professional and Windows NT, and I guess Windows 98, if you're into that sort of thing. And I see we're sporting a Pentium 3, providing plenty of power for the era. And you know, it's hard to describe the stance of this thing. It just has that forward slant that looks like it's trying to bow up on somebody, like it's about to show them who's boss. I guess that was Dell's way of saying, this system's powerful. Or just bossy. Either one. And I think that confirms it. This thing at least started life in corporate America, with Windows NT Workstation on it. Yeah, these things usually got e-wasted out, taken by employees and turned into home computers. And I guess the same thing happened in schools too. These things probably ended up in a lot of teachers' homes. And here's a look at the back. See, it's as foolproof as it gets. Being a very integrated system, has absolutely everything on board, including sound in the NIC, and even USB. That was especially nice at the turn of the millennium. Alright, let's get this thing open. And on these machines, that's quite a simple operation. See, both sides have these buttons here. You just push those in and pull up. It just comes off like that. Yeah, you saw that toolless design a lot on the corporate America Dells. Ooh, that floppy drive's so dusty. Looks like it's growing a beard. Look at that. It created its own filter. Well, hopefully that prevented dust ingress to the inside. Look at that. Just coming, like, covered up the LED. Well, you think this system was getting heavy use? You can just go ahead and knock that off. I was going to vac it, but... Actually, you know what? I better vac it. Just before it has any chance to infiltrate anything else. Look at that disk eject button. It's a wild little thing. Curious to see how that works. We grab a bad disk that I don't care about. That's quite the contraption. Wonder how that won out over just putting some kind of button here. This was in Dell's wild days. And rest assured, it's not just the floppy drive that's insanely dusty. Check out that bloody mess. And you know what? I better hit that too. Otherwise, my hands are going to be very filthy handling those cables. And I'm not the biggest fan of gloves. Alright, that'll do for now. And I dread to see what's going on inside that fan, but I kind of want to. So these power supplies just flip out of here very conveniently. And let's see, how does this come off? These look like tabs. Okay, that's kind of insane. This is actually kind of clean. I guess the dust was too busy getting stuck on all the components along the way. Never made it to the fan. And all these peripheral cards pull off as one unit by lifting up on this lever here. Gotta help it out because sometimes they break. Yeah, the whole thing exists as this little like riser sub-module thing. It's actually really convenient, despite being really non-standard. This actually looks like a variant of the NLX form factor that Dell Dellified. Now let's get that modem out of there, our only peripheral card. See, what do we have? A 3Com from 1999. Standard as they come. It's actually a US Robotics. Didn't that capacitor look a little funny? It's weird that the jacket's only in the middle. Huh, that's interesting. And that's an interesting looking little component. I'm pretty sure it's an LED, but it's packaged like a surface mount transistor. I thought it was just a cool early 2000s translucent version of the surface mount transistor. You know, as was the style at the time. And yeah, I don't know why I find that stuff fascinating. I'm not weird, you're weird. Okay, now we can decablify. And I guess this power supply can go too. Somehow. How does that come out of there? Ah, there we go. Now I can see some brains. Thing is very stuck. Original thermal pad, anyone? It's only about a quarter century old. And there it be, our Intel Pentium 3, 733 megahertz, 256K of cache, and 133 megahertz front side bus. I'm gonna pull it out of there because it badly needs cleaning. We'll see what those pins are looking like. And they look pretty good. I don't think this thing's ever been out of here since Dell put it in. Now we're gonna have to scrub a dub. First, let's add some alcohol. All right, we're coming off slowly. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Fresh and clean. Now we'll take care of the heatsink, which is surprisingly undusty. Yeah, barely needs any attention. And now, same deal with the thermal pad. Though seeing how this contains the majority of it, I'm actually gonna scrape most of it off. Wow, this stuff's surprisingly easy to work with. All right, that's as clean as that thing's getting. And those are just stains. And to help keep dust out of the socket, we're gonna put that CPU right back in there. Now let's see what we got on the RAM side. It's like a Micron stick, 128 megs of PC100. And the next one looks identical. Yep, indeed identical. So 256 megs. Very good. Now let's see what it takes to summit this drive mountain here. See a single screw. I think that at least gets rid of the floppy drive. And takes that weird button mechanism with it. And that's CD Burner's branded magic spin. That's funny. It looks like these are on rails. Huh? One moves and one doesn't. Looks like it's hitting against the face plastic here. What? How did they get that in there? See if I can just pry it back. Okay. There we go. That was stubborn. Oh, the dust continues. Look at this thing. This one has that same problem with the rail hitting the face plastic. Because they have these unnecessary tabs on them. There we go. Look at a mess. Well, we're getting a particle-based analysis of the airflow dynamics of this case. And hard drive removal seems simple enough. It's a single screw here. And then, do we lift up? Yes, we do. Okay, now I gotta get everything out of this case because it needs thorough dedustification. I'm gonna start with this wibbly woobly thing here. Guess this is just a support bracket for extra long cards. I don't know how much support it's providing. Look at this thing, it's flimsy as all get out. And let's see, how do we get it out of here? Push down on this. Maybe, yeah, there we go. Now let's see about that fan with the very non-standard connector. Let's see, this looks like a clip. It's not doing much declipping. How does this thing work? That ain't going well. Alright, this one's not nearly as straightforward as it seems. Actually, it seems like I should jettison this back plastic first. And it's got a million of these little plastic tabs. There we go. Surprised none of those broke. Okay, do you move now? Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's what it was, I guess. Back plastic was locking it in somehow. Yeah, it's interesting, it's got the thermistor right in there, monitoring the airflow. It's actually a pretty nice fan. Bearing seems okay. But boy, is it dusty. Alright, carrying on. I know you're not going to want to stay over there. But you must. There, close enough. And here it comes. Alright, got a single screw. I guess this slides somehow. Aha. Operation Dust Bust begins. Okay, that's at least all the dust. What you see here is actually just like little specks of oxidation, I guess. This thing might have been in a not dry environment at some point. It's kind of everywhere. But it beats dust. Alright, let's get that fan cleaned up. Now let's give it a sound check. Actually, sounds excellent. I don't hear that bearing at all. Alright, good little fan. Alright, the motherboard's also de-dustified. Let's finish it up. Let's see how dead that battery is. Oh, I'd say it's pretty dead. I think there's more voltage in the air. Let's see, there's always some creative way these things gotta come out of here. Looks like this one just pushes back. Maybe? What? Yeah, there we go. I guess battery socket designers have to feel clever too. Alright, it's drive time. And here's the hard drive. A gigantic 10 gigabyte Western Digital caviar with a manufacture date of November 3rd, 2000. That seems to track with the rest of the system for originality. Let's hope it doesn't become the next sacrificial hard drive. And here's the definitely not original CD burner, manufactured October 2003. Branded Magic Spin. Who is it actually made by? It's manufactured by Top G, or Top Glory Electronics. No, I'm not kidding. They're actually called Top Glory Electronics. And that's just how I like my electronics companies, with healthy hyperbole. Ah-choo. It just makes you feel like sneezing, doesn't it? Well, I know the first thing I'm doing to this drive. There, now I can actually read it. See, it's manufactured by NEC in December 2000. It's quite a heavy thing. Heavy drive means quality drive, right? Guess we'll see. Alright, decontractifying this floppy drive seems simple enough. Just got these two screws here. And then what do we do? Okay, we just lift out of there. Easy enough. And that drive definitely looks Dell-y, with the Dell part number there, and the date code to match. Made by NEC. These are usually pretty good drives. Let's get it apart and see how it held up against that dust storm, which starts with this little screw back here. And then it should be a prying operation. And, okay, it's gonna make me pry the other side. Those tight NEC tolerances. There we go. Yeah, plenty dusty. Gonna have to vac that. That vacuum cleaner is definitely earning its keep with this system. Still didn't get all of it. Usually running a Q-tip in here. Once these start to like feather out, they can reach more dust particles. Yeah, when they start to look like that. And of course we'll clean the heads, which were surprisingly clean, and refresh all this grease. And got to be careful around this one. It's got an optical track 0 sensor right there. This should do it. And get some bits under the head wings. Now, a quick note about Dell power supplies from this time period. Although they may look ATX, sometimes they aren't. Especially in the late 90s, Dell put their own Deli spin on this connector. And I've heard that connecting standard ATX power supplies to these systems will kill both the motherboard and the power supply. And this is roughly the same pinout as ATX, but everything's shifted either up or down 3 pins. And I haven't found any hard and fast way to tell the Deli connector from a standard ATX connector. So I'm just going to connect my little AT to ATX adapter and see if it powers on. It does fit. Now let's send some power. Okay, it sounds like it might want to start. Let's get a sacrificial hard drive connected. Because I usually start these with my tester, but I don't want to risk blowing it up. Yeah, that won't start. So I think that is the Dell special power supply, or power connector. So I gotta figure out where the actual PS on signal is. I do hear it running. I hear the oscillator switching. Anyways, stand by. Alright, shifting down 3 pins from the PS on, or where I expect the PS on signal to be, takes me to this gray wire. So let's try shorten that to ground. Aha, that's it. Alright, let me rig up the voltmeters and everything, give this thing a proper test. Alright, here we go again. Okay, we're looking good on 12 volt rail. Let's see, 5 volts. 5 is good, a little high, but still good. Go back to 12 volts. So yeah, that's something you gotta watch out for with these Dell systems. I don't know why on earth they did that. I guess maybe they were trying to go for some extra current capacity to these connectors. But you know, they could have at least modified this somehow so it doesn't just plug into a regular ATX connector and blow it to kingdom come. Alright, so I guess one way to tell for the future is to look for a gray wire down here. Because I checked all my other standard ATX power supplies and they don't have that there. So maybe that will be the hard and fast rule. And this thing's been cooking aplenty, so it's good. Okay, let's see what it takes to decontractify this. We got a single screw here. And I thought I saw some class of release tab looking thing. Maybe. That thing is like on there. What else is it? I think it's solid. Is it just, it's just on there out of habit? Yeah, kinda. Tight tolerances. There we go. Alright, time for me to drone on about safety. Yeah, all stuff you probably heard before. High voltages probably kill you, and all that stuff. So don't do it unless you know what you're doing, or perhaps lack a sense of self-preservation. But I gotta get this thing open because it's incredibly dusty. Alright, I think I saw 2 other screws. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, and that's why. Thing's basically a dusty tinderbox. Yeah, and when you do open these things up, this is what'll bite you. These 2 giant capacitors here. Yeah, they'll store a charge even if it's unplugged. And they probably won't kill you unless you maybe have some kind of heart condition. But you probably shouldn't take that chance, because you shouldn't trust your power supply to be your cardiologist. Leave the diagnosing to them. Anyways, let's vac this thing out. Alright, now, upon peeping at them caps, all of the ones with brand names I can see are Rubicon, and of course they all look excellent. Man, remember when computer manufacturers used to take care of us like that? Fan seems like pretty good quality too. It used to be that way. It used to be that way. And I guess I'll dig that fan out of there, since I'm in this deep. It's pretty dusty. But at least they were nice enough to only hold it in with 2 screws. What brand name is that? Adda? ADDA? Never heard of that. It doesn't seem too bad. Of course, I've, seen better. But it sounded pretty good when it was running, so let's get it cleaned up. And yeah, we heard it earlier, but now it's time for the solo. Alright. Bearing-wise, sounds great. A little noisy on the, just from the moving the air, but it certainly is moving a ton of air. That thing is fierce. Either way, I like it. Alright, we're fully back together and fully faced for the full test. So we'll start by delivering power. Okay, we get a little bit of a power on. That's funny, my modern Dell does that. It's like it wakes up and realizes, hey, I'm supposed to be off. Anyways, let's turn on. And we are booting. Or posting. Cool, those are good complaints. So the hard drive spindles make it a little bit of noise, but it sounded like it initialized. So I think we're okay. I like how it knows the cover was previously removed. Yeah, it's got the intrusion detection switch. A lot of enterprise-grade computers have that. Yeah, that's quite a noisy little hard drive. I guess we'll see. Let's just... No, actually, let's go into setup utility and set date and time at least. So actually, I don't care about time. I care about date. Ooh, wrong button. Space plus minus to change? Okay, let's give that a try. Minus, minus, space. What the? I don't get this interface. All right, arrow key, right. Let's see, what day is it? The 8th. And into the cursed age. Actually, I can't even see that. But you know what? As long as we're in the 2020s. Here, no, actually, I can do this. When it goes to 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There we are. Really got to get a better capture device that doesn't cut off. Anyways, let's give it exit. Or escape to exit again. What? I hope that's saved. Didn't even prompt me. Here, hold on. Let's go back in there and make sure. I don't want to damage any timestamps. Yeah, we know. Okay, yeah, it kept. That's weird. No prompt to save or anything. Ugh, look at that. As soon as you hit escape, it's gone. Alright, oh, it's got Windows XP. Yeah, this definitely was promoted to home use. Despite that being XP Professional. That was probably just the upgrade path of least resistance. And I only ever ran XP Professional at home. Except mine was, less than legitimate. Hard drive sounds okay now, except for that spindle motor. Oh no. How will we ever get through this? Let's see if there's a password. Oh, nope. Wow, yeah. Home use all over this thing. Yeah, this thing. Look at that. You got Kodak Easy Share. So back in the day, digital cameras didn't just present as mass storage devices. You needed these horrible specialized programs to exfiltrate your photos. Rhapsody free media player. Ah! I'm like, I remember that. Oh, what is it? What? Windows Live. What? Somebody was actually using Windows Live Messenger. Interesting. Okay, apparently this was, Yeah, let's get out of all this stuff, because I don't like showing people's info, even if it's old info. Alright, so Windows XP, being NT-based, you get a nice convenient event viewer. What did I do? Oh, I just gotta remember how to type correctly. So we can get an idea of when the last time this thing was booted up in the system log. 2009. I guess that's a fairly long life for this machine. 9 years. Seems appropriate. Let's see it. That looks like some pretty consistent use. Well, maybe not. It's like they used it every couple of months. Like, literally every couple of months. Okay, well, let's see what we have on here. Not a whole lot in the way of programs. Oh, there they are. Oh, Humongous Entertainment. Backyard Baseball. You know, I found a backyard soccer game inside one of these computers. Still have the disc for it. So I know that this game wouldn't run without the disc. See, Hasbro Interactive. Easy Bake Kitchen. And Roller Coaster Tycoon. Oh, I know that won't run without a CD, will it? Yep. It's like, where's my disc? Aw. Okay, we got gaming use on here. Compton's Home Library. Oh, I thought that was some kind of West Coast thing. Let's see what old version of iTunes this is. Oh yeah, we got music. Trying to connect to the internet. Through a dial-up connection, wow. They were downloading MP3s over dial-up. Uh-oh, what was Norton? Norton 2002? Why is that still on here? Your antivirus subscription service has expired? You don't say. Ooh, I better renew now. Okay, go away now. Okay, I recognize very few of these artists, but it's definitely got the old iTunes aesthetic. Ooh, let's see, we got last played dates. Let's see, 2006, 2007, let's hit that sort. 2008, so yeah, they were using it all the way up to the end. Okay, cool. We got copyrighted music that no doubt came from legitimate sources with that totally complete ID3 data. Yeah, sure. Let's see. Do we have any evidence of file sharing? You know, I'm still waiting for the day I find a system with Napster on it, or at least Kazaa. That would make me very happy, because Kazaa made me happy back in the day. Let's see, what do we got in the auto start? Kodak Easy Share, come to steal your memory. And Intervideo Win DVD. That's what I used to play DVDs back then. Interactual, that sounds familiar. What is that? I remember using this for something. It's a player. Oh yeah, just another DVD player. Right. Look at that aesthetic, man. You just don't get that nowadays. That was slick back in the day. Lego Island. This thing had a lot of games on it. This probably doesn't run without disc. Oh, maybe it does.
Oops, you have to put the CD in your computer.
Are you kidding me? Come on. They really bothered to animate that telling you off. Oh, I love that. Whoever's decision that was, I love you. ArcSoft Photo Suite. That sounds familiar. I never used it, but I recognize that name. What was this? It's like some kind of Photoshop-y program? Yeah, I guess so. Let's see what's in their recent files. Oh, wow, this thing's got a lot of pictures on it, which I'm not going to go through because I don't like exposing people's personal data. Wow, there's a lot. Yeah, I'm out of here. This thing saw some heavy use, I'll tell you that. Somebody loved it. Oh, so they had actual Photoshop, or at least the album starter edition. And Windows Movie Maker. You know, one of these days, I gotta try editing a video in Windows Movie Maker, just as a haha. Ooh, where are my programs? Click here to view the programs that you could, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I kinda got that already. Whoever owned this computer was old enough to do taxes, apparently, by at least 2004. Let's see, what's that? Buena Vista. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Oh, you remember that? I remember that show. Let's see if that runs. Probably not. We only had 10 gigabytes to work with, mind. That's why everything back then required CDs. Speaking of which, let's see. You know, I'm tempted to look in that Nothing But Fun folder, but then I ain't. Do I? Yes, I do. Well, that's not fun. This person has a sick sense of humor. Anyways, let's look at the hard drive space situation. Yeah, they used a lot of it. Only 1.26 gigs free. Let's go in there. Alright, well, they kept all their data in the usual regular user spaces. So what's in this i386 folder? What in the... It's definitely a, yeah, Windows upgrade. Oh, I guess they upgraded from whatever was on here, I'm assuming, NT4 workstation. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Probably. It's probably something completely different. But yeah, WinNT upgrade. Okay, so they just upgraded it. Interesting. Guess that's how it got XP Professional on here. How do we have pending Windows updates? They took this thing out of service without even installing its pending updates. That is just cruel. Well, I better not install those right now. I guess I'll probably break. This is probably just updates that it cached when it still could. And what is this? Oh, Bell South Accelerator. Sure, I believe that. So yeah, we got LAN, Kodak, QuickTime, Windows Live Messenger. What is KPCMS? It is empty. Okay. How about family folder? Probably stuff I need to blur. Yeah. We ain't looking at that. Goodbye. HE Games. Empty. Program files. See if there's anything that isn't in the start menu. Why does AWS have a folder on here? I'm assuming that's the AWS I think it is. Probably not. This was in the very early infancy of AWS. Oh, they had a head. That's most likely Nero. Yep. Nero found its way into everything back then. Let's see what version is that. Nero 5. I haven't seen this in a very long time. Let's see. Start multi-session disk. Why not? Let's go. You know, I didn't see any signs of CD burning software, or at least... Why did Nero not jump out at me? Oh, there it is. How did I skip over that? Anyways, well, I guess that was their CD burning program of choice. You know, most people were using Roxio for some reason back then. I always felt like a weirdo for using Nero. When is this from? 2002. Cool. Maybe we'll test the CD burner. Speaking of which, let's start testing all the drives. Let's go up, 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 and up again. There we are. Let's start with the floppy drive. What? Why is that getting hung up? It's catching on the face plastic. You gotta really square that to get it in there. Huh, interesting. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it's working. Good old NEC drive. Very good. Let's give it some exercise and copy all this stuff off to the C drive. Come on, you can do it. Put it in my junk folder. Control V. Looking like a good drive. At least for reading. Which, if they read, they usually write, so. And it does the thing. Fantastic. Now, how about the CD burner? Let's test its reading abilities. Making happy sounds. Yeah, it's working. And they have auto run enabled. Such security risks. Okay, let's not install this. Exit setup. Yes, keep exiting. AOL sure tries their hardest. Okay, how about the DVD drive? Yeah, got happy sounds there too. And yes, looks like we're auto running, indeed. This is gonna be like, what is this? I don't know this world. This version of America Online will only run under the Windows 95 operating system. I bet it's still gonna put the junk on the desktop. Let's see. That's probably from the first disk. Hey, while junking up my desktop without permission. Okay, now, let's see. Hard drive, that's probably an NTFS, right? Yep, indeed. So no scan disk. Well, we'll use what we have. Use Windows XP's error checking tool. Let's do everything. We're just going to require a reboot. Let's go. Yes, of course. Do the thing. Let's reboot. Do we have yet another surviving Western Digital caviar? Yeah, what are you? Go away. Oh, I better get that disk out of there. When's it gonna stop complaining about that cover being removed? And this is all the scan disk we get. Or not scan disk, but ultra enhanced check disk. Alright, made it to the free space check. This should go pretty quick because there isn't much of it. And we made it! Yet another good Western Digital caviar. You know, I swear these things, they may have had an early failure rate back in the day, but the ones that survived, man, they hit the mark. I very rarely ever come upon a working one, that's still working to this day, that has bad sectors or anything else wrong with it. It's crazy. They're either dead or they're perfect. This volume is clean. Alright, let's get back in here. And we are going to try to burn a CD. Let's see if it even likes that disc. Sometimes old CD burners don't like modern CDRs. I think they cheaped out on the coding or something. Yeah, and I think this one's no exception because I didn't get a, what do you want to do with this disc dialogue? Oh, no, it sees it. Okay. I guess somebody disabled that. Alright, let's open up old Nero. Nero burning ROM. And we're gonna burn an audio CD with all of our favorite songs. Let's see, where are our favorite songs stored on here? My music? iTunes? iTunes music? I'm running out of octaves here. Let's see, we'll get some Black Eyed Peas on there, I guess. This must have been a RIP, unknown album. Okay, wow, how do I even add these? I don't even remember. Drag and drop. Oh, that's gonna take forever. Uh-oh, I can't read M4As. This might not get far. Let's see, whatever this is. That's also an M4A. Is there any MP3s on here? Doesn't look like it. I thought Neuro could burn M4As. What's up with that? It's M4As all the way down. Well, we're down to the Weezer. M4P? Ugh, this just gets worse and worse. Actually, I wonder if it reads that. Let's see. Nope. Alright, there's gotta be MP3s on here somewhere. Come on. This is the early 2000s. Surely they didn't get all of their music from legitimate sources. Let's go search for files and folders. Pictures, music, or video. Music. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that. Search by file type. This is almost unbelievable. Okay, well, we found a ringtone. Think. That is literally the only MP3 on this entire computer. What? Well, let's see what it sounds like. Ah, it's gonna open with iTunes. It'll take like 20 minutes to open. Really, it's just like the ringback sound from a phone. Oh, I've inserted a blank CD or DVD to burn. I can burn songs with iTunes. Okay. Forget Neuro. Select the playlist that contains songs you want to burn, and then click Burn Disk. Couldn't be simpler. Okay, let's try that. Let's try one of these existing playlists. Van Halen, why not? Uh-oh, what's happening? No, don't you be playing no copyrighted music. I don't need that evil. Okay, yeah, burn disk. Let's go. Doesn't seem to be a lot of disk burning going on. Okay, there, maybe. Click burn disk to start. I thought I did that. Just gotta click it twice. Oh, now we're burning, I guess. Yeah, it sounds burny. Yeah, seems to be writing. Well, forget Neuro. Yeah, it looks like it's doing it. Ooh, that sounds happy. Let's see if it's showing up in Windows as an audio CD. Yes, it is. Fantastic. All right. So this thing's fully functional. I knew this thing felt robust while I was taking it apart, but yeah, guess it really is. Let's see. Windows gonna try to play this disc. I'm not gonna be able to actually, hear any music. In fact, let's turn these down. Copyright gods will smite me. Accessing Grace Note CDDB. You're gonna be sorely disappointed. Yeah, stop that right now. Well, this thing really wants its Grace Note, doesn't it? Okay, is this really in the same single program thread? We are frozen solid. Okay, well, how about with Windows Media Player? Surely that can play a regular old audio CD. There's no play with option, I guess. Oh wait, I bet you it's hung up on this. Go away. Oh, come on. Really wants to connect. Okay. Yeah, it's playing. Look at that. I assure you it's playing. Let's see. Yep. That's Eruption. Alright. Functionality confirmed. And let me say, I just realized that was the first audio CD I've burned in probably, what, 18, 20 years? So there's that. Let's get it out of there. Good job. Better get my AOL CD back too. Alright, let's give this thing a rest. What is this? Oh no, Neuro, you were no help to us. Go away. Okay, now it's time for cleanup. Yeah, the top of this thing is pretty dirty. Looks like this here was perhaps the work of an incontinent printer, since it looks kind of inky. So we'll start with the old Windex and paper towel routine. And actually, that's coming right off. I thought that was going to be far more stubborn. I wonder what this is for here. Feels like it comes out. Wonder if that was some kind of attachment for a kiosk-y monitor thing. Most difficult part of this are these little sunburst ridges. Gotta get in there with your fingernails. And I just got done cutting them off. Well, you know, I am utterly shocked at how well this thing is cleaning up. There's not even that much plastic damage. You got a little tiny bit here and here. That's like barely noticeable. And the face cleaned up pretty well too, save for some indelible scuffs, which are totally forgivable considering this thing's been in existence for 25 years. And through the e-waste system and all, I'd say it looks just fine. And I gotta say, I'm really surprised by the robustness of these machines. Just in terms of build quality and component selection, really, really solid. Just too bad about their proprietary deliness. Really, what was the point in that power supply modification? Someone please tell us. But you know, for what they are and their purpose for the time, yeah, really solid machines. Back in the day when enterprise grade actually meant something. Not sure about their utility in the typical retro use cases, but you know, life finds a way. And let's give our huge thanks to these fine people, the patrons and channel supporters, for their patronage and channel supporting ways. Huge thanks to them, and huge thanks to you for watching.